Hello everyone, welcome to a highly anticipated episode of Weird DMs. Have you ever tried to ruin someone's life? Really quickly before we get started, I just want you all to take a minute to Great. I'm ready for this. Are you? If you're not, or somehow this is your first time seeing this series, welcome. This basically all started because I used to get weird confessions over Instagram, and we evolved that into a series to now people willingly snitching on themselves. It is overwhelming the amount of commitment here to telling on themselves. That's kind of meta. Basically, a lot of people here have told us things that they probably should not have put their full government name attached to. So Noah, make sure we blur these people's names out because some of these stories are awful and some of them are really funny. And I don't think this needs any further introduction than we're about to read a bunch of confessions by people who ruined other people's lives. So welcome. For the next 20 minutes, we'll be discovering as many horrible people as we can in this small period. So let's go. Wouldn't be weird DMs if there wasn't some weird cousin story, so why don't we start with this? I made my cousin fall in love with me so he would divorce his wife. Virginia is crazy. Here we go. As you can tell by the title, yeah, I did that. Weirdly quirky way to acknowledge something so fucking gross. This is my husband, who's also my cousin. Yeah, I did that. Use that as a TikTok sound. So I have this cousin that is now single and divorced, but prior to that, he was married to a woman that he dated for 3 or 4 years. I was pretty young when they were dating. I could have been 12 or 13. I always loved that cousin. Not in that way. Sure. Yeah, that makes it better. I thought that he was the most amazing person in the world and he was something of an idol to me. However, I didn't like his girlfriend at the time and later on his wife. I always thought she seemed shady, stuck up, just gave off overall bad vibes. Yeah, for sure. No, I think as a 12-year-old, you were more than qualified to assess bad vibes. Most of the family didn't like her either, so I wasn't imagining it. I hated seeing her on the family gatherings, and I always thought that my cousin made a mistake of marrying her. Man, I don't know what's more troubling, that a 12-year-old is so confident in her assessment of bad vibes, or that a 12-year-old is so confident telling a grown person, hey man, you f***ed up. Several years of this passed until one day I realized that I could easily stop this woman and also save my cousin from her. I don't want this to sound cringe. Oh no. No, we would never. No one is cringing at this story. Nah, we're all on board here. Keep going. I don't want this to sound cringe, but I'm good at manipulating people into perceiving me and doing what I want, so when I realized that my cousin lacks a few moral compasses, I knew what to do. Where are your parents? I seduced him. Oh, fuck. Hello, yes, CPS? Yeah, I would like to report that I can't do this anymore and I need you guys to do your job. You're severely underfunded? Okay, well, maybe you'll consider doing a few brand deals. Okay? Get your money up. Okay, goodbye. I seduced him, made him fall madly in love with me. There was nothing that he wouldn't do for me. He would buy me things, take me places, but I liked the gifts more. Without even asking for it, he told me that he is divorcing his wife for me. I was glad, and he really did it. After some time of me enjoying the gifts and attention, I found a boyfriend and left him on his own. Oh my God, 2 years passed since. He still wants me back, and he has no idea what to do with his life. I am, however, fine without him. I just didn't like his wife. You need so much therapy. You need so much therapy. If you're watching this, you need so much therapy. I made my grandparents divorce. This should be good. When I was like 7, my grandpa took me on our usual bonding trips to his farm. Only this time he introduced me to this little girl, a lot younger than me. This girl would call him dad and shit, but I thought it was because he was always so caring with everyone he met. So I told my grandma about it. Turns out she was the daughter he had in an affair. He didn't expect his 7-year-old granddaughter to tell on him. That's why he introduced me to her. My grandma and him got a divorce not too long after. Oh, you're not a bad person. You didn't ruin someone's life. You did a good thing. That's not what we want here, though. We don't give a f about people doing the right thing on this series. We're looking exclusively for bad people. You know, while we're on the subject of sometimes it's good to be anonymous, I want to thank the sponsor of today's episode, NordVPN. You all know how I feel about browsing the internet raw. You don't want to do it. NordVPN is a great way to encrypt your connection and make sure you are browsing the internet safely and securely. They have over 5,100 servers in 60 different countries. You can find a server near you for better speed or a faraway location for more content. Nord is great because it's super fast and it works on up to 6 devices. And what's even better is they offer a double VPN. So basically you can route your traffic through 2 VPN servers to double your encryption protection. You hear that? They let you double bag it. It's very easy to use. You just open up a map and click the location you want to connect to, and there you go. It's also a great way to protect your internet browsing while you're traveling, if you're going to be doing that again. And because all your internet traffic is encrypted, your internet service provider cannot throttle you, which is awesome when you're downloading tons and tons of media online. Stop going raw on the internet. Go to nordvpn.com/Noel Miller and you can get a 2-year plan plus 4 additional months and a huge discount when you go to nordvpn.com/Noel Miller. So check that out. Stop going raw online, and definitely do not send messages like, I made my grandparents divorce, without some type of encryption. Please. See, this is what we want. Ruined an entire family's life permanently. Yeah, that's what I like. That's the tagline to a Netflix series right there. This is some shit I want to watch. When I was 16, I was dating this girl, and she had like a crazy abusive mom, but her and her dad never contacted any officials or anything. I was trying to smash her mom. Oh, damn. See? Read that wrong. I was trying to smash, and her mom was like super in the way. To be fair, bro, you're 16. There should be a lot in the way of you trying to smash, okay? Yeah, I'm like in this bitch's house trying to sleep with her daughter, and she's like super in the way. So annoying. I was trying to smash, and her mom was like super in the way, so I convinced them to call the cops because the mom had the little kid. What? When a cop came and got a whole detailed picture, he said, was there anything technically illegal happening? Because he had to make a report that the mom would hear about. So then the mom literally fled to another state with the little kid, and the dad hasn't seen the younger sibling or heard from the mom since. So I basically ruined a family's lives trying to smash. Never smashed, everything lost, nothing gained. You're just so cavalier, man. You put your government name on this story. Yeah, when I was 16, I tried to smash and just fucking ethered this whole family. Shit was crazy. Squad kill though, am I right? I'm a serial homewrecker for fun. That's good. Have you thought about calling your dad? Hi, Uncle Noel. I ruined someone's life, and I'd do it again. I don't know if this counts as ruining someone's life. Well, you seem confident, and now you're being insecure. Well, which one is it? I don't know if this counts as ruining someone's life, but I'm a serial homewrecker. From new couples to married for 10 years, I've ruined it all. The sommelier of homewrecking. She just browses over a couple at a restaurant like, oh, you smell that? It's a 2008 right there. It's aged beautifully. It's ready to be cracked open. You can tell the cork on the bottle is just at the very top, and with a little head, it will just, the whole thing falls apart. It's really beautiful, honestly. The first time I told a guy if he broke up with his fiance, I would marry him. I was 16, so it's his fault for being an idiot. Obviously, I wasn't going to, but he did. Just out of curiosity, did you also maybe have a cousin who was married to someone that you didn't like? No, different story. Oh, okay, I thought maybe. I blocked him like a week later. He's still single. Damn. The second time was a married couple. A guy I was hooking up with told me he was married, and I swore I wouldn't tell his wife. I did, and then she divorced him. I think he's homeless now. Oh, so you're like literally a homewrecker. The third time was a couple that invited me to have a threesome with them. I had a history with the guy, and the girl was fully straight. So I made sure it was as uncomfortable as possible. I stayed the night and cuddled with them and everything. They're still together, but not if I have anything to do with it. Yo, call your fucking dad. Find out who he is and have a conversation. Jesus Christ, dude. Taxing the world with your trauma. My teacher was a fugitive. Okay. Good afternoon. Oh, Noel. Grade 7. I was... I like how you set the tone here. Grade 7. I was fresh into a new school, and I had an English teacher who was really cool. The typical young, trendy teacher who everyone loved. Only one thing. She was hyper paranoid about her personal life. Nobody knew her outside of school, and nobody really thought of caring. One day, we find out her full name and credentials. You fucking cop. Her credentials? And decide to search her up. Now I'm from blank. Turns out, in America, this lady, under a completely different name, was a wanted criminal for some corporate crime I can't even recall. You idiot, you could have learned firsthand how to play ball with Jeffrey Bezos and the rest, but instead you told on her. You fucking nerd. Decided to let my parents know, who let the principal know, who quietly fired her, and God knows where she is right now. Destroyed her life, and I don't know how I feel about it. Well, here's the thing. She's bounced back before. Mommy loves you. I intentionally ruined someone's life. Here we go. Hey Noel, the only time I intentionally hurt a man's feelings, I might have ruined his whole life. Okay? Ever since we started dating, I was kind of weirded out by this grown man's relationship to his mother. She was a single mom and he her only son. That's how I rationalized it. Fun fact about this lady. She's one of those erotic fiction authors who writes under a pseudonym and just cranks out that nice. He'd mentioned this right when we started dating, so I wouldn't be caught off guard by her job later. When we visited her, I wasn't surprised by her job, but by her insisting I take home and read some of her books. Okay, she's proud of her work. Let me guess, there's a bunch of books about a mom f***ing her kid. I did take some books home with me though and skimmed them, so I could have at least given her some stale compliments later. That's when I realized all of the male protagonists, the ones doing all the fucking, were basically my boyfriend, her son. From the very detailed physical descriptions right down to the interests, hobbies, and aspirations. I knew he had no clue because he refused to read her books, so I decided to keep it to myself. See, that's me almost throwing up. I knew he had no clue because he refused to read her books, so I decided to keep it to myself. Super weird, but it's just not my place to say. Yeah, I get that. Until that piece of shit cheated on me multiple times and broke up with me the night before my college final. Instead of studying, I highlighted all the incesty sections of his mom's books and dropped them off at his place with a note saying, "Mommy loves you so much." That is the origin story for like a B character in Suicide Squad. You need to copyright this story before Netflix or, J.J. Abrams takes this shit from you, whoever. I have his number blocked, but his mom reached out to me a few times asking about our breakup. Quote, "He's been so distant since then, never calls or visits. Hope his insurance covers therapy." You did ruin someone's life, but I'm going to say it's kind of beautiful, honestly. This is kind of like a comic book story. LOL, I can't believe I'm doing this. We can't either. Hey Noel, I know you're about to get all kinds of actual criminal behavior that you can't talk about, so I'm here to deliver something light and easy. Strap in, baby, and blur out my name because I'm not about to lose my job for you. Sure thing, Brittany Smith. Oh, that's not her name. Or is it? In high school, there was this girl named Brittany Smith. I hated that bitch. She was stereotypical, all my friends are guys. Oh, pick me, copy. But they actually were. Prettiest girl in school, so nice, like too nice. You get it. She ended up dating every guy that I had a crush on all throughout high school. Oh, it's, what's her name from White Lotus? Literally everyone, even the most random person. Yep, she was there holding his hand in the hallway like a big fat baby. I swear she was some type of cyborg reading my mind. This girl was in my French class, and one day I had just about enough. I was all geared up to ask this kid to prom because feminism. What? Oh, God. Okay. He sat next to me and I had a crush on him all year. Guess who ended up going to the prom with this guy? Not me. Brittany Smith. I stormed out of class that day and went to the library and started doing what all high schoolers do. Talk smack. I ended up telling my brother's annoying friend that this bitch's dad was an alcoholic and that she's making up for it with all these gangly dudes. Nice. Yeah, you didn't even hold back a little bit. Damn. Little did I know, I walked into French class the next day and that bitch was sitting there crying. Everyone was apologizing to her. My stomach dropped and I knew that my brother's friend had spread the rumor and that everyone would know it was me. I literally wanted to die in that moment. Turns out my brother's friend didn't end up ratting me out and he got suspended from school that year. When he was finally able to come back to school, he had to be escorted by an aide because they were always watching him. Wazowski. So I ended up ruining 2 lives, but that bitch Brittany Smith. But that bitch still ended up going to prom with my crush and I went alone. Alright, the story's got a lot of bravado, but you failed to mention specifically what happened, so I'm going to assume your rumor got out there and it ruined her reputation and that the other kid got in trouble for maybe talking about it. I'm not sure. There seems to be a common theme here though, and that is you're very used to something being left out. Got robbed at work, so I decided to ruin his life. Here we go. This story is gonna be hilarious because look at this starting line. So I work at a smoke shop in North Carolina, right? Oh, man. What Breaking Bad offshoot is this? About 2 weeks into the job, this guy comes in and asks if I'm the new employee. So I say, yeah, I just started a little bit ago. And he responds saying that he knows some of the other employees and that he's a regular customer. He looks around the store for a few minutes, then leaves without saying anything. A few minutes later, the fool comes back with oh yeah, I can already hear it. A few minutes later, the fool comes back with a mask on and pulls a knife on me at the counter. I'm like, are you serious? And he says, if I don't sit down, he's gonna kill me or whatever. So I sit down and he takes like a jar of Delta 8 pre-rolls and Delta 8 gummies, does a throat cutting motion on his own throat with his own knife and sprints out of the door. I should mention that this guy was a regular, but the employees didn't like him because he's weird and would come in and talk about how he wants to fuck Cardi B and shit. He also growls at the girls. He's in his mid-20s, and I think he has some mental problems. Oh, man, what will give you that idea? So he leaves, and I call the cops, telling them the story, but I was also in a pretty bad mood already. So I just started making shit up about what he said to me to make him seem as evil as possible, you know? Never, ever piss off a Zachary, a Colton, just anyone who seems like they have an abusive relationship with an Xbox controller. Do not upset them. Yeah, this fool like totally got on my nerves. I was in a bad mood, so I just straight up lied under oath. Who gives a fuck? I had to write an impact victim statement for the court case, but I didn't have to actually testify in person. I got a call back from the ADA with good news saying that my statement has a chance to give him 20 years plus sentence with no chance of parole because he's considered highly dangerous by the judge. Honestly, good riddance. The guy was a creep. I should mention that the Delta 8 stuff he took is basically diet legal weed. So yeah, I may have exaggerated a bit, but he deserves it, you know? Also, we got arrested for showing up to court with a probation violation, wouldn't it? Look, I don't even know how to feel about this because you just told us you lied to get this dude in prison, and then you said you may have exaggerated a little bit. So how do we know any of this shit is real, man? It's hard for us to know, but on the moral compass, you might be like an exceptionally shitty person. You just might be, you know? That's between you and your Xbox controller, I guess. I'm probably gonna have to hand over this email after these stories go live. This is crazy. Hey Noel, nothing criminal, so hopefully this is usable. Yeah, let's hope. Second half of my senior year was online due to Corona. I had an ex that I broke up with around November prior to this. Middle of the semester, I realized that she still had her student account logged in on my laptop. For no justifiable reason, I had the idea to delete her schoolwork consistently, which put her at risk of not graduating. She had no idea what was going on. I could see her submissions/conversations with teachers and was clearly frustrated that the work she did would disappear randomly. Some of the professors were pretty nice and just chalked it up to errors with the files, and others didn't really care and just gave her zeros. I would unsubmit most of her major assignments after she posted them and delete them from all her files. No idea how it went down for her because I stopped towards the end when I got busy with my schoolwork. Oh my God, man. You know, man, as someone who performs publicly and sometimes has to be responsible as far as what they endorse and what they encourage, because, you know, sometimes I speak to impressionable people, I have to say this was fucking hilarious. I'm kidding. No, this was horrible. This is horrible. Deleting someone's homework and making them go crazy, come on, man. Sending someone absolutely insane, that's not funny. Making someone cry because they worked all night on geometry proofs and they swear it was there. That's so not funny, man. It's not funny. You greasy little shit. Can you imagine this poor girl every time she submits her homework? There's you, fucking eyebrow sweat, 3 days old, just breathing down your weak ass mustache, just delete. You're a dickhead, man. You're a grade A dickhead and a waste man. I just have to say, we got hundreds of stories and we narrowed them down to like 150, and I've only been through like 10. I might have to do episodes 2 and 3 because there's just so much in here. You guys were so ready to get busy on this. It's insane. Here we go. I saved my cheating ex's life by getting revenge. This should be good. Dear Noel and the editing team. You're that Noah, you're a team. I had a girlfriend for 2.5 years, and I found out in the end she had always been cheating on me for 2 years and 3 months of that time. All while telling me she didn't want the whoop-de-doo until marriage. Got it. All right, Hank Hill. She didn't want the whoop-de-doo until marriage. Anyways, once I found out, I of course broke up and blocked her. going into a murderous gym monkey rampage and got 0 gains. Ah, that was you crying. Crying, doing incline bench press. Fuck this bitch, dude. Besides the point, I plotted my revenge. I knew she loved 3 things in life: her dog, her car, and her job. So I killed her dog, blew up her car, and burned down her job. So I went down the possible list of things that I could do that wouldn't kill her, but would definitely only show that I was the one who did it without her being able to prove it was me. Right. So I loosened all the lug nuts on her car while she was at work? What? What is going through young men's minds that they resort to the... Listen, man, I don't want to stereotype you, but because you said whoop-de-doo, I'm assuming you're a certain type of person. And I just want to tell you right now, if you have the Ted Bundy gene, you need to take care of that now. You need to go to therapy and get that handled right now. That's just from me to you. Followed her home. Her wheel flew off on the highway. I drove off laughing. Her friend texted me an hour later saying that my ex was in the hospital. I was like, dang, okay, that sucks, and start panicking. Yeah, you should be, you dickhead. While they were doing a CT scan on her torso to check for internal damage, they found out what turned out to be a tumor in her liver. And they said if it hadn't been found, it would have caused liver failure, which depending on the hasteness of the liver failure can kill you rapidly. So yeah, I destroyed my ex's car, tried to give her a good shaking, and ended up saving her life. It was 3 years ago. I'm not that awful of a person anymore. Love your show. I hope this gets used. I'd love to see your reaction. Look, man, I'm going to say she probably got that tumor from a better man mixing up her guts. Man, go to church. Do something. I'm not religious, but you need to pray to one of the gods and get right with something, the universe or whatever, because this behavior right here is fucking horrifying, man. I'm genuinely afraid that you walk around this earth, having done that. I'm not qualified to really judge people, but what I do think I'm qualified to say is you might be a very shitty person. We can only hope that you're not this person anymore. We appreciate you snitching on yourself, though. That part is crazy because you used your full government name, Brittany Smith. Wow. Damn. Well, I think that's going to do it for this episode of Weird DMs. Thank you all for sharing your stories. We appreciate all of you sacrificing your personal dignity for a small sliver of entertainment. As always, everyone is anonymous, and this information will be kept private. But thank you. Thank you all for telling these stories, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you very soon with another video. See ya. Bye.
Hey, shit's play, man, I had to switch it up. Yeah, might lose a few, ask me if I give a fuck.